Hello Internet, this video is part 2 of the rebuild of this Dana 18 transfer case off of this 1946 Willys CJ2A. Now this video is made possible by Kaiser Willys Auto Supply. They have been the sponsor for the Jeep project. They're a great sponsor. Get 10% off your order by using the discount code SGarage upon checkout. Now let's see part 2. We're going to shift gears, literally, in the transfer case and move on to the main case and the output shaft that we already started to rebuild with the bearings here and here. And in this case, I did not take out the shift fork, just left it in there. There's no reason for me to take it apart. I did take a buffer, a wire wheel, and I buffed out the lower part of this rod, this shaft rod. And so the fork is on there already. And to build this output shaft, we're going to first of all use this gear. And you can see where the shift fork fits here. So that'll be the first thing we do is simply slide it over the shift fork. So where the main gear is on the inside of that, so where the shift fork attaches is on the outside. And we're going to use this gear as well. Looks like that. And this part of the gear, the smaller part of the gear, is going to go on the inside, this on the outside. And basically we are going to put the output shaft just like this. So the threaded part is facing this side, and this part of the output shaft is going to face the rods here, the shift rods. And you just have to put it in place, stick it in there. You have to line up the splines. You just have to move it around until it fits in place. There it is. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put this thrust washer in that came in the kit. It's a very thick washer, and you can only put it on one way correctly. So on the splines here, there is just one spline, and here it's the one that's closest to the top that goes further back. These other splines do not go as far back. This one goes all the way to the end. So the thrust washer basically slides on just like that. Again, the one that goes all the way forward, just like that. The next thing is to put the snap ring on. This one again came in the kit as well. And the snap ring, you can see that there's a groove right there. I'm going to slide it on the outside first, and then I'll use the snap ring pliers to get it the rest of the way. All right, gotta try a different strategy here. There it is. It's time now to put the other bearing on. These two bearings are identical, but just on the other side here. So I have a couple of studs, 2 or 3 studs, approximately the same height as the case. And I'm simply going to lift up and position it like so. Actually, I might... same thing as the other side. You want this to be the cone side up, so cone side to the outside. And it slides on easily here, but you get to this point, and that's where it has to be pressed on. So I will use, again, the Schedule 40. I think this is 1 1/4 inches. It definitely is. And all the pressure is going to be going on the inside of the bearing, not the outside, not where the bearings are at. And I'm just going to do like I did before. Scott, you obviously want to edit this out. Almost there. It's time now to put on the outer race. So the cone is, the cone fits here. So just like that. So it's concave. It really can only go on in one direction. I'm going to use some of the assembly goo. Put it on the inside of the outside race. And also on the outside of the race. This has to be carefully tapped in, and I'm going to use the leather mallet. I'll use my rubber mallet on the other side. Stop recording. Of the outside race and the outside of the outside race. Stop recording. It's time now to shift over to the intermediate gear. And the intermediate gear will have some of these needle bearings. Now these are really nice. They're already caged, so I don't have to put them in the hard way. So that'll be great here in just a second. And the intermediate gear also has two thrust bearings that are identical. And you have a brass side and a silver metal side. You can see where it's been imprinted. And if you look inside the case, on each end, you can see where the imprinted side is to fit. Like so. Now we're gonna place the intermediate gear with the needle bearings in there straight down. Now a lot of people struggle with this because it's really a tight fit, and I really think that putting both thrust bearings on first with the assembly goo is not the best way to do it. What I'm going to do is put one of them on, one of the thrust washers on, and I'm going to do it on this side with the assembly goo. And I'm going to load the bearings in. I'm going to set it in place, and there's plenty of room from the inside, and I have my special camera here to show you this. From the inside, you can easily, once it's in place, just put the second thrust washer in place. You don't have to struggle then. It'll be a nice, perfect fit, and I really think this is the way to go. Take it for what it's worth. So, again, this is a little bit of assembly goo just on the inside here so it kind of sticks. Okay, just like that. These needle bearings are easy with the cage in place, and I'm simply going to put my hand on one side, drop them in. I'm going to put some assembly goo just on the inside, so as that rod comes through, it's going to slide nicely. Once the gear oil is in there, it's going to bathe all this in gear oil, but it's good to have some lube in there. Just drop it in place. Just like that. Again, just one of the thrust washers in place, and then, so here's the second thrust washer. Again, you can do it from the outside, and I know that the gap for that is right here, so you just have to find it, just kind of lift up on it and push it in place. Oh, I see, said the blind man. There we go. The needle bearing cage was kind of pushing in on it. Okay, there it is. It's not a difficult thing to do at all. Okay, it's time now to put the intermediate shaft in place. So it can only go in one direction, and this edge here it tapers in towards this way. So you push it in this direction, and this lines up with a retainer. So you have to get it in correctly, and then once we reach the point, we'll have to tap it in, and we'll put that retainer in. So I am putting assembly goo on the shaft. and use the rubber mallet. And I want this to be turned just slightly, so it made sure I was lined up really carefully. So I gotta there we go, that works real well. Yeah, that should do it. Even though I didn't film it, I kept on tapping with a hammer, not directly, but indirectly, this intermediate shaft. And it's now flush with the case. It's time now to put on the locking tab, which is a very thick piece of metal here. And there's a groove right here. And basically the wider part of the tab goes into the intermediate shaft. And then this is a shorter bolt. You don't need any sealant on the threads because it does not go all the way in to where the oil is located. And the outside is 9/16. I think it's probably like a 3/8 bolt as far as the inner diameter of it, if that's what it's called. So I'm just going to put that in place, hand tighten it, and then we'll tighten it with the ratchet. Hey, I hope you got some value from part 2 of the rebuild of the Dana 18. Keep watching, and you will see part 3.